Factor is on tonight.
You killed mine, damn it, I got to kill yours.
Now, the Trayvon Martin case in Florida is becoming a dangerous racial situation.
We came for permanent justice. Arrest Zimmerman now.
But today, new evidence is coming forth that shows there was a physical confrontation involved before the teenager was shot dead. We will have the facts. Hi, I'm Bill O'Reilly. Thanks for watching us tonight. The Trayvon Martin case takes an even more intense turn, if you can believe it, and that is the subject of this evening's Talking Points memo. Last week, we told you that the Factor would not try this case on television, as some other news operations are doing. You may remember that we showed restraint in the Duke lacrosse rape case, and we were correct, while most other news organizations were guilty of irresponsible reporting and were ultimately proved wrong. But we have to examine the Trayvon Martin situation because it's now a nationwide story. Today, there were rallies planned for at least 12 American cities, all of them in support of the slain teenager and his family. Also, a new CNN poll says 73% of Americans believe the man who shot Trayvon, George Zimmerman, should be arrested. He has not been, because he's claiming self-defense, saying he was attacked by the 17-year-old. The Fox TV station in Orlando recently interviewed a man who says he witnessed the confrontation.
The guy on the bottom, who I believe had a red sweater on, was yelling to me, "Help, help." I told him to stop, and I was calling 911. And then when I got upstairs and looked down, the person that was on top beating up the other guy was the one laying in the grass, and I believe he was dead at that point.
Now, the Factor has not been able to confirm that Zimmerman was wearing a red sweater, but his lawyer is pounding the same theme.
George Zimmerman suffered a broken nose, an injury, a gash to the back of his head. There were grass stains on the back of his shirt. And he claims that Trayvon Martin struck him and he went down and he was acting in self-defense.
Well, according to the Sanford Police Department report, George Zimmerman did have a bloody nose and a wound in the back of his head. Apparently, the police do believe there was some kind of physical confrontation between Zimmerman before he shot and the young man before the young man was shot. Now, the reporting on the case has been hysterical in some precincts. And once again, MSNBC finds itself in a controversy.
We came for permanent justice. Arrest Zimmerman now. That's what this rally is about. Trayvon represents a reckless disregard for our lives that we've seen too long. And we come to tell you tonight, enough is enough.
Lauren Ashburn, how on earth can Al Sharpton go there and be an activist and stand with the parents, and he asked people to contribute money, and he went to the Justice Department with the parents of Trayvon Martin, right, and then he does his show, and then he speaks at the rally again?
He's covering himself.
He's covering himself.
Right.
How can MSNBC allow that?
It is a little hard to see how that is possible.
But it is possible, and other news agencies have also crossed the line in the case. Very liberal TV critic Eric Deggans, who works for the Tampa Bay Times, has acknowledged that Zimmerman is not being treated fairly.
He has a side. Is he going to feel like he can talk to NBC News or MSNBC and be treated fairly when one of their signature on-air personalities has spent weeks talking about how he should be arrested and he should be in jail? I think that's a real conflict.
Now, just so you know, Mr. Deggans is an active civil rights person, so his point of view carries some weight in the case. Right now, the situation is being inflamed by the Black Panther Party, which has arrived in Florida.
You killed mine, damn it, I got to kill yours.
Black power.
By next week, we're looking forward to getting $1 million for the capture of George Zimmerman. We're going to force our government to do their job properly, and if they don't, we will.
Now, as Talking Points has been saying, every fair-minded American should want justice in the case, and if Mr. Zimmerman acted with reckless disregard, he should be held accountable. But that must be proved in a court of law. Working against Zimmerman is the fact that, according to the Orlando Sentinel, he called the Sanford Police Department 46 times in the last 15 months. Obviously, the man was aggressively looking for criminal activity, and even the 911 operator told him to back off in the Trayvon Martin situation. The case is now worldwide because of President Obama, who said this.
My main message is to the parents of Trayvon Martin. You know, if I had a son, he'd look like Trayvon. And, you know, I think they are right to expect that all of us as Americans are going to take this with the seriousness it deserves, and that we're going to get to the bottom of exactly what happened.
Well, upon hearing that, Newt Gingrich strongly objected.
What the president said, in a sense, is disgraceful. It's not a question of who that young man looked like. Any young American of any ethnic background should be safe, period. We should all be horrified, no matter what the ethnic background. Is the president suggesting that if it had been a white who'd been shot, that would be okay because it wouldn't look like him? That's just nonsense.
So Talking Points does not believe President Obama was suggesting that at all. He was just expressing outrage in very personal terms. As the leader of the country, the president is entitled to do that. However, he should be very cautious. He referenced Trayvon in a son context. But today, the Associated Press is reporting the teenager was suspended from school for drug activity. Beyond a doubt, this is one big mess. And again, fair-minded people should not be rushing to judgment. Apparently, there are two sides to the story, even though circumstantial evidence indicates a deadly confrontation did not have to happen. But news agencies have a responsibility, morally and professionally, to practice restraint in situations like this one. Jacking up ratings is one thing, but putting people in physical danger, quite something else. And the lunatic Black Panther Party is out for blood. They don't care what really happened. And they are being prodded by powerful news organizations. That's disgraceful and should never happen. The Factor will continue to cover this story responsibly, honestly, and we will find out what exactly happened. That's what we did in the Duke case, and that's what we'll do here. Because that's what fair and balance is all about. And that's the memo. Next on the rundown, Juan Williams and Mary Catherine Ham will reply to the talking points. And later, Bernie Goldberg has written a column on the racial aspects of the Florida killing. He will be here as well, and we're coming right back.